Hi, so I went to see my brother over the weekend, and to be honest, he's something of a genius. I mean, he's a computer guy, and he's interested in AI, and what he's working on is understanding intent of something rather than content of something, and using that as a basis for AI. And to help him visualize and realize that, he was using something called a cuboctahedron. Now, to be honest, he was talking to me about this, and I think I understood maybe 25% of what he was saying. But when I looked at this device, it immediately struck me of the Irwind. Now, I don't know if you've heard of the Irwind, but it's a kind of spherical device that is supposed to capture wind from any direction. And it's designed really for urban environments where the wind direction can change and come from absolutely anywhere. Now, when I saw the Irwind, I was absolutely fascinated by it and wanted to replicate it. But it was a bit challenging for me to be able to construct that device. And now, as Anthony was talking about artificial intelligence and the cuboctahedron, all I could think was, that looks like it might be useful in the Irwind. So I decided to construct an Irwind replication using a cuboctahedron. Now, a cuboctahedron actually isn't that difficult to make, which is of course why I want to actually make it that way. I have a bunch of these things. These are old whiteboards that we took down, and they're kind of broken and kind of next to useless, but right in the centre of them is a great big piece of plastic covered hardboard. So I'm going to use that hardboard to construct it. Now, the first thing we need to do is make three intersecting planes for a Cartesian plane, and that's really easy. What you need are three squares, and I cut these squares 30 by 30, so halfway across and halfway down one square we've got a 15 centimetre 3mm opening because it's 3mm thick. And then the second square I've done exactly the same thing, but on these two sides here and here I've cut 7.5 centimetres down, and then I've cut two more pieces. It actually was originally a square that I cut in half, and then I've cut again halfway down 7.5 centimetres. So they all slot together. You just slot them together to make that Cartesian space that I was talking about. So we slot those together like that and glue them, and hey presto, we have our Cartesian space. So I'm going to do that and fix them and then get back to you. So when you've done that and glued it all together, that's what it looks like. Now, we need to put square faces on this. And this square goes from here, here and here. So I've got one cut here, and it goes like that. So we're going to put a square on like that. So this long side actually goes between these two bits. So we can use our Pythagoras. We know that's 30, and we're going to put a square on like that. So if we take that length here as 30, we have a right angle here. So 30 squared divided by 2 and then the square root of it gives us that length there. And it's Pythagoras, x squared plus y squared equals z squared. So we can work out what that is. Now I've made these 30 centimetres as I said, and that makes these 21.21 centimetres long, and I've cut 6 of them, and the 6 glue on the 6 faces like that. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'll glue those on, and then when I've done that, we'll have a look at the cuboctahedron. Okay, so we've nearly finished. We've put the 5 sides on, leaving the 6th side off just so you can see. That 6th side obviously goes like that, gets glued on basically, and we have one finished cuboctahedron. Now, we need to put a pivot on this obviously because we want it to spin, and clearly there's a choice. We can either put it here or we can put it here. Now, I have no idea which way around it should go, so I'm going to guess here. So I'm going to put a pivot point so the thing actually sits like that. The idea being there's lots of faces which can catch the wind. Now, I have no idea, like I say, whether that's the right way around or not, but that's the way I'm going to put it. So what I'm going to do is put a bar here coming out there, so it makes a triangle of that. So in that section there, there'll be like a triangle bar. So I'm going to put that bar in, and then I will actually finish that by putting that one on. So I'm just leaving it so I can get the bar actually in there. Now, this was used in Star Trek, incidentally. So for all those Star Trek nerds out there, including me, the cuboctahedron appeared in a Star Trek episode when some of the Star Trek cast were turned into these things by alien invaders. I liked it. I thought it was interesting. Anyway, I'm going to put that bar in there to finish that. Okay, so I've fiberglassed in a bit of aluminium tube at the bottom. It's 10mm outside diameter, 8mm inside diameter. We've got an 8mm steel rod that goes on. And that's it, finished. So now what I need to do is make some bearings, obviously, and get it out into the wind and see what happens. 8mm rod, so we're going to use skater bearings. Okay, so I tried it in 3 different positions. So in the centre of the square face, at the edge of one of the vertices, and right in the centre of one of the triangles. Now, when it's like that, then it's actually pretty symmetrical and kind of has 2 blades. When it's like that, it equally has that same sign of symmetry. But when we put it in like that, it's like we have 3 and 3. So that is actually the one that I found works best. So if I put it back on its axle, drop it in. Now for some reason, whenever I choose to do these, we have non-windy days. So we're not having a particularly windy day, so I'm going to simulate the wind with a hairdryer. Now obviously it's not on an actual generator at the moment, so we need some real wind and we need a generator, but at least we can get this to spin, and we can get this to spin with any direction of the airflow. That's pretty cool, so let's give that a go. So it seems wherever I point that fan, I can get this thing to spin. So I thought I would give that a go actually. I mean, I think it's interesting from its sort of, you know, first steps as it were. Obviously lots to do with it, but I thought I would share that with you because I quite like that O-Wind concept. It's just that it seemed a bit difficult for replication, whereas this is actually really quite easily done. Now it's made out of hardboard, so it's got quite a lot of inertia, it's pretty heavy. If we get a bit more wind, I'll just stick it out in the wind and we'll do a demonstration of it in real life, so to speak. But it seems to have promise, so I thought I would share that idea with you and give my thanks to my brother for actually sparking that idea, and thank you very much for watching.